Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rulla Alani and today I will be sharing top tips for newly engaged women. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and we'll just get right into the tips. So the first tip that I have for you ladies is to honor your king. Don't let this be a time of neglect. Don't get comfortable in the fact that you've secured the ring, you're now this man's fiance, and you got him in the bag. You know, you don't want to have that attitude. If anything, you want to have an even enhanced amount of respect and honor for your man. Just appreciate the fact that he's leading this relationship, he's leading this union. This is just simply the start of your guys' journey, and I think that in this moment you should honor your man in a completely newfound, beautiful way. Respect him, speak to him with kindness. Men want to be appreciated at the end of the day. They don't really ask for much. If you ask a man what he wants from his wife or his lady, it's not this crazy income or this amazing cook. At the end of the day, it's a woman who shows appreciation and who gives him that feeling of like, yes, my work isn't for nothing. My work is to build this beautiful home and family with this lady that I've selected. So don't let him regret his decision. The next tip that I have is to cherish the engagement period. Man, I did not realize how much pressure one would face the minute that they tell their community, their friends, their family that they're engaged. It's almost an instantaneous gut reaction to ask someone, when's the wedding? How far are you along in planning? I think a lot of couples get sucked into this immediate planning, figuring out the wedding venue, the guest list, where their dream home is going to be, and it can be really overwhelming and it can take away from the love, from the romance, from the reasons why you guys are even getting married. So remain focused. Realize that all of this planning, yes, it needs to happen, and I know for some people they have a very strict timeline as to when they want to get married, but just realize that that is added stress on a union, especially if you went from just seeing each other for date nights and for all these kind of playful, youthful activities, and then all of a sudden the only time you guys are now spending is, we need to get this tackled, we need to do this, we need to call this person, we need to schedule this, and it can just take out all of the love from the dynamic. So please, this is my sign to you to just embrace this period. Don't rush the engagement phase. It's actually a beautiful time when you don't have as many responsibilities, when you're in this just beautiful phase of you found your person, but you don't have it all figured out yet, and that's completely okay. So just really focus on romance, focus on keeping that spark alive. Try to plan out when you guys are going to be having these more serious conversations, and don't do it during a romantic date night, or don't do it during that 1 or 2 hours of leisure that your husband gets when he gets home from work. You know, really be strategic and make those times very concrete and separate from your guys' playful romantic time. The third thing that I recommend that you guys do is to prioritize your union. Yes, there should be a shift in your weekly actions, in your weekly responsibilities. You are now a wife in the making, and that should be reflected in your daily activities, in your habits, in your planner, in your calendar. Like, don't just keep doing the same things you've been doing before. You are now creating a new family with your partner, so even your own family, your extended family, should take a back seat. I noticed this shift with my partner, which is when we were dating, like, there was a lot going on. We'd have people over, dinners, birthdays, barbecues, a lot of people coming in and out, you know, in terms of just friends and gatherings and family. But the minute that we got engaged, I really wanted to just be in our little couple bubble, and I wanted us to really embrace one another, get get to know one another, because you can get caught up in thinking you're spending time together just because you live together, but there is a big difference between quality time and just time under the same roof. You know, like if I'm reading a book and my fiance's watching a movie, that's not really quality time, and I don't even think watching a movie together is quality time. Quality time is like eye contact, holding each other, having those deep conversations, going out in nature for a walk, you know, things that don't have an outcome in mind, when you're just really relishing in the other person's company. So I really want you guys to prioritize your union, and perhaps when you guys were just dating, there were things that you did which were no biggie, but now that you are an engaged woman, those things would be a little bit questionable. For instance, in my union, my partner is so laid back, so easygoing. Like, I could literally tell him that I'm going out with the girls on his birthday and he wouldn't even bat an eyelash. Now, pause really quick. I would never do that. Like, I hold my partner above anything and everyone else, and especially something like his birthday. Like, no. We are going to be celebrating all day, all week, all month, and I go all out for his birthday. But that is just an example of the type of man he is. He gives me my freedom. He is very open-minded. Like, he's never going to say no to something. And that is when I need to use my discernment as a woman and make decisions that I know would benefit the both of us. I know my partner is going to say yes, and that's fine no matter what, but now it's up to me to make decisions that I know really align with both of our values. So does that mean I'm going to be going out to the club every week with my girls? Definitely not. It means that I'll probably have a date night with my friends every few weeks, but beyond that, I am really going to be prioritizing our union, our time, our activities, our vacations, our dinners together. Like, all of these things add up and create the memories that you and your partner are going to cherish forever. So just really reflect on your weekly activities and figure out how you can prioritize the union more. Does that mean you guys need to set up a date in advance, like every Friday is us time? Does that mean that you guys need to schedule a certain dinner or a certain lunch or a certain activity that you guys do as a couple? If that's what you need to do, then do it, because nobody is going to be prioritizing the union versus you and your partner. Your friends, your family, your work, all of these things are going to try to pull your time, your energy, your presence, but it's up to you to rebalance that time and to ensure that your union is at the top of your priority list. The next tip goes hand in hand in that, and it's now making decisions based on we, based on us. There are no longer any independent decisions, and this might trigger a lot of you women, especially you boss babe types or you alpha queens, but you need to remember, the whole reason that you got into this union was to come together as one. So you really need to respect that and remember that nowadays your decisions should be made as a team. I personally no longer make any big commitments without first talking to my partner. That is a huge step in any decision that I make. It can be involved with work, it can be involved with friends, it can be involved with anything, but I want him to know that we are a team and that I respect his opinion more than anything, and we need to come together and assess things as a team. We're no longer just an I, a you, we are an us. You uphold that idea of us, of we, by coming to your partner and asking them about those things. What do you think about this? I was given this opportunity at work. Does that align with our goals? Always console each other before committing to something new, and to only make decisions that will benefit the both of you. Perhaps there is an opportunity for my partner to make a lot more money, but it's going to mean he's not going to be home 6 days out of the week. That's going to be something that he talks to me about. Maybe in the past, you know, he was all about building and earning more and all of that. That was his focus then. But now now we have a new focus. We have this renewed sense of purpose, which involves each other. So just keep in mind that just because something might be a clear yes to you, it does not mean it will be a clear yes to your partner, and you really need to talk to them before making that kind of decision. The next tip that I have is don't sweat the small stuff. Drop the ego. An ego should not reside between you and your partner. You guys are now vulnerable. I've used this analogy in other videos of the onion and how when you're on a first date, you're very slowly peeling back those layers. But when you come into union, those layers should easily peel back. You know, this person should be an open book to you and vice versa. And when we sweat the small stuff, we create hostility and drama and gossip and anger when it's not really going to help us or benefit us in the long run. So just take it easy and start thinking of decisions in terms of decades. Like, is this decision going to make a difference in a decade's time? If the answer is no, then it's probably a lot more meaningless than you are now prescribing it to be. So a lot of us, especially us women, we're guilty of this, of blowing out a situation out of proportion, you know? Just let it be a small thing. Don't sweat it. Don't let your ego, you know, zoom in and maximize small little issues and make them huge mountains. So an example of this is my partner and I had booked a trip with the hotels, the flights, and everything, and then a family emergency came up in his life. And I remember for a few minutes, I had this huge attachment to this trip. And I was thinking so illogically because I knew in a decade's time, this family emergency that my partner was facing was 1,000-fold more important and more vital than this trip that was just for fun, that was just for luxury. And for a second, I was even about to like start an argument or start a fight because of this, which would have been so hurtful because it would have been me dishonoring my partner. It would have been me not trusting him to lead us in the right direction, to know which event would be more important for us to go to. And then I was like, no, not today, Satan. I'm not letting this small thing become a huge thing. I know that this trip can be rescheduled. I know that, you know, we might lose some money from the flights or the hotels or whatever, but this family emergency is so much more important just in magnitude that I need to just not sweat the small stuff in this situation. So really start thinking about these small problems and issues that arise and start thinking, is this going to matter in a decade's time? Because if it's not, then it's probably not that serious and you should treat it as such. The sixth thing is pretty straightforward, and it's to ask instead of assume. As I talked about us peeling back the layers of ourselves, you should be really comfortable in this phase of bringing up things to your partner, bringing up sensitive topics. Your communication should be like 100 at this point because we've been doing all the practice when we were rotationally dating. We've been doing all the practice when we were single, hopefully. So when you come into a union, you should not be pulling the passive aggressive card. You should not be pulling the I'll see once he figures it out, you know, mind reading whole thing, okay? Please, you guys, give your partner the peace of mind that you will communicate with them when it's necessary. This includes talking about things that are uncomfortable. This includes talking about situations that perhaps your partner would have never even heard about, but maybe it's something that you witnessed when you were out and about in the real world and you feel that they should know. So all of this not only allows you guys to just be on the same page, but it also builds trust. And remember, you guys, building trust is a forever long process. It's not like, oh, well, I built trust when we were dating, now he should trust me. No. You need to continue communicating those things because that is going to be building your guys' relationship and making it even stronger. The next tip that I have is to truly step into your role as a wife. So this is a little bit similar to assessing your priorities and making sure the union is a top priority, but a step further from that, you want to act like a wife. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I mean to step into that traditional role. Obviously, every relationship, every dynamic is different, but on my channel, I mainly talk about traditional marriages, right? So as a wife, you should step into your role and do the things that women are inherently better at. So that means being a nurturer. If your partner's sick, stepping up to the plate, canceling all other plans and taking care of your man. If this means that your partner is going to be coming home after a long trip, that means going to the store, cooking him his favorite meal, having it ready when he comes home. All of these things prove, in a sense, your value as a wife. And no, it's not just about cooking and cleaning. It goes far beyond that. One of the things that I've implemented in my life since becoming engaged is praying over my fiance. And this is a topic that I can make a whole video about, but I think it is very powerful because think about it. When your partner goes out into the real world, they are going to face competition, they are going to face negativity, they are going to face difficult things, right? Like life isn't just this this merry-go-round, right? Like we face obstacles and issues and people who are hostile and all of that. So you want to create this beautiful place of peace and serenity and positivity for your partner even before they go out into the real world. So this means praying over your partner. Obviously, you know, everyone is different, but I know for me, that really solidified my duty as a wife because I was like, nobody is going to be praying over him more than I will. Nobody is going to be praying with as much conviction, with as much faith, with as much love and admiration as his partner, as his wife. Now, maybe his mom will, right? We all know that a mother's prayers are very powerful. But I'm not going to just say, oh, well, his mom's going to pray, you know, I'm good to go. No. I pray for my partner every single day and I make it very specific to whatever challenges he's facing. I ask God to give him strength, to give him focus, to give him the discernment to know what's right and wrong. I always ask God for him to help protect my partner, cover him in his shield of pure white light so that disease, illness, fear, doubt, all of these things could not even get into his body or into his mind. So I can make an entirely different video. If you're interested in that video, definitely make sure to comment down below. The words that you speak to your man, whether it's just in your head or whether it's out loud, make a big difference in his life. You need to realize this. As his woman, your words hold weight and words are powerful. I see a lot of women who say things to their man or who treat their man in a way that is just absolutely incorrect. You should be the one upholding the most respect, the most honor, the most love over your man. Because if it's not going to be you, you don't want it to be someone else. Okay, you want to be the one who is uplifting him, empowering him. And like I said, you don't even need to say these words aloud, but even just a conversation between you and whatever you believe in, for me it's God, it can make you feel totally at peace knowing that he is being protected, he is being strengthened, he is being guided in every single step that he takes. As you step into the role of your partner's wife, you are going to realize that you strengthen him in areas of weakness and vice versa. So what I mean by that is when my partner and I go to the grocery store, my partner has told me this before. He said, babe, I love when we go to the store together because I can turn my brain off. Okay, and that makes me so happy inside. I'm like, okay, I'm fulfilled. There are times when my partner is with me and he's able to just turn his brain off. He's able to just unwind and not think about anything. And that's my time to shine. That's my strength, when I am able to plan out meals, figure out what foods are most nutritious for us, what foods are in season, to figure out what vegetables and fruits are ripe. All of those things are decisions that I can make with confidence, and my partner can lean on me because he trusts my judgment. Now, on the other hand, when my partner is making a big decision for his job or for anything of that nature, where we're gonna live, I'm able to turn my brain off. Okay, and let me tell you, I turn my brain off quite a bit. Like when we go to the airport, my brain is off. My partner is telling me what gate we need to go to, where the lounge is, like all the things. And that's because I trust his lead in that scenario. Okay, so yes, men generally lead the household, but that doesn't mean that there aren't certain aspects of life where a woman shines, where a woman's knowledge and intelligence is more inherent in that field and it comes more natural. So don't force your man to become an expert in cleaning or an expert in interior design. Allow yourself to be strong and to shine in the areas where he is weak, and vice versa, because that is how we make a powerful duo. Think about it. When you're a CEO and you're hiring a VP, you're not hiring someone who's just like you. You're hiring someone who brings out certain facets and certain abilities that you are not able to tap into. So bring that same kind of energy of balancing each other out with your strengths and weaknesses into your union. Okay, the next tip, which I'm sure you guys hear all the time, is to continue dating. Okay, schedule those weekly date nights. Make sure you're spending quality time, at least, every day would be ideal. And like I said, quality time is not going to the movies. Quality time is not watching a sports game. Quality time is literal time where you're able to talk about things that came up, where you're able to have that physical touch and affection, when you're really able to tap into each other's energy field and exchange from a place of undivided attention and focus. Okay, so I always make sure that I'm doing the same things that I did when we first met. Okay, so that means sending over a sweet, unexpected message. That means writing a love note and hiding it in his luggage before he goes on a work trip. These were all things that I did when we were dating, and it doesn't mean that they're just gonna go out the window now that we're engaged, okay? So my partner continues to admire me, to adore me, to dote on me, and to do all the things that he did in the beginning stages, and that is why our love just continues to grow, compound, and multiply. Now, along with prioritizing your union and really realizing that you guys are becoming one, this tip may seem a little bit counterintuitive, but you still want to maintain your sense of self. Okay, so if you were completely into Pilates when you met, but your partner isn't into that, that doesn't mean that you're just going to now neglect this hobby of yours, okay? You're going to maintain those same self-love practices that you did when you were single, whether that's taking a bubble bath, going to the gym, doing girls' nights, spending time with your family. You don't need to involve your partner in every single thing you do, and actually doing that can kind of bombard them and make them want more alone time. So I've noticed that the more that I do things that fill my cup, the more that I go to the yoga class, spend time with my mom and sister, do the girls' date nights every now and then, it makes our partnership even stronger, because I come back home, I have a full cup, I'm ready to pour into my partner and vice versa, and he knows that I'm getting that outside friendship, energy, activity that I need. I'm not reliant on him for everything. I'm not reliant on him for my happiness, for my well-being, for all those things. I'm able to come home and be you know, completely relax because I've done all the things that I need to do to take care of myself. Don't get comfortable just because you're engaged. Continue working on your appearance, your look, your fitness journey. Don't stop just doing the makeup or doing the hair or wearing the cute outfits that was initially what lured your partner in, okay? So just do a little bit of reflection once again and start figuring out what were the things that made him fall in love in the beginning, and make sure to carry on with those same things as the years go by. Last but not least is to just maintain an attitude of gratitude. My partner and I do this silly thing, and everyone notices it when they're around us. Every time he says thank you to me, I say thank you back. We don't say you're welcome or no problem or anytime. We are in this constant state of appreciation and gratitude, and it's super silly because he'll make me lemonade, for example, and I'll be like, thank you so much, honey. And he'll be like, thank you. And I'm like, thank you. And it's just this cycle of high vibe energy. It's this cycle of appreciation, of gratitude. And just remember that the more you keep your spirits high, the more that you appreciate the small things, the more that those things become big things, right? And the more that we feel appreciated, we want to do more things for our partner. So this is just a double win for everyone. Just make sure to thank your partner, show them appreciation, even out of the blue or when it's unexpected, just sending them a message like, hey, I appreciate everything that you do for us. You are everything that I've ever dreamt of and more. Something like that can just go such a long way, especially like I said, men want to feel that they're honored, that they're appreciated, and being in a state of gratitude is an easy way to make sure that you are leaving him feeling loved and appreciated and all of the good things. If you have not already watched my video on men who provide necessities but not luxuries, then definitely make sure to check that out, because I feel like a lot of women also struggle with that in the beginning of a marriage or in the beginning of getting engaged. They think, why isn't this guy getting me all this luxurious stuff? Look at all these other women who are getting X, Y, and Z from their men. And to be honest, you need to realize that every single couple has their own things going on. Every single home is going to have a different budget, a different lifestyle, different expectations. And you can't just be comparing your man to Jeff Bezos or to Mark Zuckerberg. You really need to realize that you chose this man with his job, with his income, with his hobbies, with his personality. And this isn't the time to go and try to change him or force him to be someone that he's not. So I highly recommend that video for you ladies. I go into depth on what to do if the man that you're dating or the man that you're married to is providing necessities but not luxuries. I give you guys some tips on how to navigate that. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!